Hello friends, this is Angela with Parkrose Permaculture. Just a perfect spring evening here in Portland, Oregon in late April. I want to talk about one thing today and one thing only, and that is this magnificent plant in front of me, which is just at the peak of its glory. And I have a sister plant of it farther up in the side yard, and I'll be showing you that as well. This is Cydonia oblonga. It is the quince tree, although this is trained as a bush. You can see I have it branching very, very low, and I keep it short. Granted, it does have some shoots that kind of got away from me in my pruning. I'll have to take care of those this fall. This is the time of the year when Cydonia quince are just regal, just awash in blossoms. They go very quickly from tiny little buds to these beautiful blossom shapes here, little buds, spiraling petals, to partially open, to fully open. So quickly, it just feels like I almost missed it. I almost missed them reaching this point in their bloom cycle. Just a stunning, stunning tree. I have 3 Cydonia quince. I used to have 6, and I have taken out several because one tree can produce 100 pounds of quince fruit. And so it didn't make any sense for me to have that many of them in my small quarter-acre garden here in Portland. Cydonia quince are not to be confused with the Caenomyles quince, which is the flowering quince. That is a thorny shrub that produces kind of corally colored flowers that people enjoy in the spring. It does produce an edible fruit, but it is not the same thing as Cydonia quince, which is in the rose family. Why do I love this tree? Aside from the fact that I think if you have room to grow one small tree for its sheer beauty, its sheer aesthetic value in your garden, I think this is a tree. Nothing beats it in spring, in my opinion. These delicate pink blossoms everywhere. Now, Cydonia is what you call a tip bearer. So it produces loads of blossoms on new growth, so it benefits from a good pruning in the fall, and the older wood down inside will not fruit. So you can cut it back very harshly and find that it will reinvigorate and give you a wash of blooms in the spring. The fruit is delicious and fragrant, and there's nothing like it. Please check out my video, several years old, on harvesting quince. But this gives you a good look at what it's like at the beginning of the season. A really lovely architectural plant that produces a fantastic harvest of unusual fruit that you may not be able to find. Fruit that's very high in pectin and can be used to help set your other jams and jellies. I have no regrets about growing this plant in my garden. Let me turn around here and show you the one that I have trained as a tree. We will pass my raspberries and gummy berry and kids making dinner and Marion berries. I love how the blossoms are upward facing. It makes them very attractive, but also, as I've said before in my videos, upward facing, uncomplicated, open blossoms mean that bees and other pollinators can easily access these flowers, and therefore they're a great choice if you're trying to provide forage for mason bees, bumblebees, and honeybees. Mason bees love this tree. So that's a quick look at Cydonia oblonga, the fruiting quince, an ancient traditional food at the peak of her spring glory, just decadent, laden with these delicate, delicate blossoms. If you're interested in learning more about growing quince and harvesting it, please check out my video from 2016 where I talk about why I grow quince, how I harvest it, cultivation tips, and what I do with all the fruit. For now, I hope you enjoyed this video on this spring evening. Stay safe and I'll be back.